just start by setting the record straight. I don't want you to think for a second that I don't think you should take risks, because that's not really the point. You just need to really be informed as to how big the risk is before you do it. And I would say just get as much knowledge as possible on the matter before you go ahead with whatever you think the risk is. Because in this certain situation, I was trying to do something that just wasn't designed for the wing that I was flying. And I don't want somebody else to get into that same situation without having a bit more knowledge at least before they go forward with whatever it is that they're wanting to do. That being said, the biggest scenario was it just isn't meant for the way I was trying to fly it. So this is a reflex glider and I'm trying to do stalls on it, which is not a glider suited for such a situation. I don't know why. I'm not a wing designer. I don't have that knowledge, but I've just been told by people that I trust very well, people that have tried stalling them, that they don't perform well in a stall situation. So as a newbie, someone that's flying a paramotor on what is a relatively small wing, this is a 22-meter wing that I was trying this on, you probably just shouldn't do it. I mean, you saw my other video where that was a 25-meter, and you saw how that went. So I would just suggest probably don't do it unless you've got some, some guidance. Absolutely do an SIV course if this is something you're wanting to get into. I mean, you can watch videos online and it makes it seem like it's not a big deal, and it is most of the time not a huge deal, but it's such a hard thing to try to learn, especially with the gear that we normally have. So if you go out and buy yourself a really safe non-reflex glider, you could probably get away with trying to do a stall, but I still wouldn't suggest it, just because if you screw up one time, the wing overshoots, you end up in the canopy, and that's game over, unless you can get a reserve out, which that's a whole nother scenario in and of itself. So that being said, this was my attempt at doing some stalls, the very first stalls before I had a wing proper to try to do them on. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Yeah, live wild. I don't know, do dumb stuff, but just be careful in the process. Just don't get yourself killed over some stupid stuff.
Don't know if you can hear me, but holy smokes. I wish I had a coat on, pants. But when you can try to calm the entire system and just accept the cold, realize you're among heaven. There's a peacefulness about it.
Okay, so for this flight, I had climbed up to about 6,000 feet chasing some clouds. Everything was beautiful. I was a little cold, as you could hear in the video, but don't get me wrong, this was absolutely fantastic. I would completely do this as many times as I possibly could. But then I got the stupid idea, well, let's try to stall it.
Just simply divine. Woo, it's cold though, baby. It is cold. You just see these clouds growing and moving right before my eyes. It's absolutely phenomenal. Oh, it's a whole nother world. It's like being in the mountains, like the most magical, bizarre frickin' mountains you've ever seen. Oh, it is something. I think we're going to drop ourselves some elevation. We're just going to kill the motor and have a float. Woo! Oh, that's awesome. The peacefulness is something else. Hello, Colonel Sanders.
So I've said some weird stuff when I was flying, but I have no idea what I'm talking about there. I must have been really wanting some chicken. Alright, so here's where I start getting the wild idea that I'm going to just start pulling brakes to slow myself down so that there's less wind, so that I can feel warmer, and start toying with just a little bit of a stall there. So it's just a little bit of an entry to stall kind of a scenario. But the foolish thing was, this is not the right wing to do this on. This is a reflex wing, so this is something you should not do. I have never heard of a stall on a reflex wing going well, so it's something you guys should take into consideration. I don't have any problem with you guys doing stuff on your own. I did my first stalls on my own, but you saw how that turned out. But yeah, just, I don't know, this is just a bad idea. Yeah, I am really just pulling heavy on those brakes. I mean, that takes a lot of force once you start getting that deep into the brakes. You almost start to pull yourself up out of your seat. It starts to rotate a bit. And then I just let it out, which was the best thing I could have done there. So here I checked to make sure I was actually recording like any classic YouTuber would. Because did you really do anything cool if nobody knows you did it? I don't think so.
It's still recording. I don't really want to have a thing on my helmet while I'm doing this, but...
If you guys are ever doing any kind of dynamic or sketchy maneuver that you're just not quite sure about, I would highly suggest you take your camera off of the top of your head. At the very least, just strap it to your leg. That's what I did when I was doing my first real stalls. But it's just something you don't really want to have. It can snag lines. The dumbest thing would end up with a destroyed wing or tangled up in your own head. That would just be awful. So take the camera off the top of the helmet. So this next clip was a different day with a different glider, much more appropriate glider, and this was after I had done probably 3 or 4 stalls on my own with the same glider. But it still wasn't exactly what you would want. I was falling for quite a long time. So after I did all these, I went to an SIV course where I did a bunch more over water, towed up properly with instruction, and I'm still not confident and comfortable enough with doing them on my own with my motor, just because the amount of things that can go wrong is pretty high. I mean, I ended up in the water twice trying to do them. Mind you, I was trying to do helicos as well, so it's a little bit different of a scenario. But just the risk to reward is so high with this type of activity. All right. Okay, so this is attempt after. So I need to hold it, get myself even, keep my hands close. Go a little faster into it, right when it's about to stall. Faster into it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Please hit the thumbs up or thumbs down if you didn't like it, whatever. Drop in the comments below something you guys would like to see, and I'll try to make a video on that. Please hit the subscribe button. Trying to get my subscriber count up so that I can have some more incentive to make videos, I suppose, to be honest with you. I mean, I love making the videos, but it's a lot better if I know people are actually watching them. So if you could do that, that'd be super awesome and appreciate it. As always, have a wonderful day. Peace out.